Holy shit. Sorry. Are we good? Now I gotta do some housekeeping stuff real quick. Let's try this again. Happy New Year, everybody. Man, oh man. Starting 2021 off just right. All right. Let me do some housekeeping stuff, and let's have some people come into the Hustleholic house. Let's do it. Let me see. How was everybody's New Year? I hope everybody was safe, responsible, hustled. It's a new year, day one. Let me just do some. Sorry, guys, bear with me. I have to do everything over because I'm not sure why it automatically goes to that orientation. I am not a fan. That's the second time that's happened where it'll look like perfect right here, but all of a sudden when I hit go live, it'll just boom, and all of a sudden it wants to be this way, you know? So give me 2 minutes, or 1 minute actually. I just need to make sure everything's updated. The links are updated. Let everyone, I got to take down the links on IG real quick. Let's see. This one we want to, give me a second. Talks amongst yourselves for a minute. Okay. Boom. We're going to do this. We're going to pin that, make sure that's straight. Okay. And we're going to give it a little refresher-rooney. And we're going to see if this is good now. It should be good. Okay. All right, cool. So I got the chat up. I got the pin. Everything looks good. Am I centered? Am I centered? Let me see. Am I centered? Am I centered? I'm still not centered. Whatever. Anyways, what the hell is up, guys? What did everybody do for their New Year's? I'd like to know. Drop in the chat. Let me know what you did for your New Year's while I finish up this housekeeping real quick. I'm curious to know what everyone's doing. Let's see. Okay. We got some big updates too. We got some pretty good updates going on. What the hell's going on? I need to delete this now because now it has the wrong link because I had to start a new live. And stupid. Let's see. Let's do a little. We're gonna do a little live now. That way we can get everybody on IG on over. Let them know there's a new link, and we can get it cracking with some questions, guys. If you're new to this, this isn't normally how it goes, but I'm your boy Richie Hustles. I sell on Amazon. I sell on Mercari. I do YouTube videos. I try to be a good part of the community. And what I do is on Friday nights, generally at 6 o'clock, we call this the Friday Night Hustle Hangout. It's a chance where you get to ask any questions, and either myself or people in the chat that are knowledgeable can help answer all your questions. So while I'm taking this minute to let everyone on IG know the correct link to the stream, since we had to start it over, please ask your questions in the chat below, and I will start scrolling through the questions momentarily. I really appreciate you being here on this Friday evening, January 1, 2021. And is this year going to be a banger? Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll be starting in just a moment. Shout out to RG Slot Wins moderating the chat. Much love, much appreciation. Thank you. Maybe we'll get rated again. That was kind of fun. That was kind of cool. I didn't really understand it. You know, I know they do that stuff on Twitch, but that was actually kind of cool. I thought I was getting spammed, but it was actually people checking out the channel. So let's see if that happens again tonight. That was kind of fun. Let's see. We need to put live now. 1 second. Now. Live now. And then we got to get a little YouTube in there. YouTube. Let's see, where's YouTube? There we go. And then we're going to do a little swipe up action. And then we're going to get started. Swipe up action. Boom. Boom. And boom. Paste the link. And now we're good. Now we're good. Yeah, so I asked everybody, how was their New Year's? And I generally want to know, how was your New Year's? What I did was I spent last night over some friend's house. And today we spent it over some family members. And what's going on? Okay. So we spent it over some friends and family's houses. You know, we're not letting the party drop yet. A salute to all my hustleholics out there. I've got such pretty crazy and great news for 2021 going forward. Before we get into that, let's check out the chat, see who's in the building. We got Logan, always here, always a hustleholics. Appreciate you being here, Logan. RG Slot wins, no introduction. Richard Bisnet, always here at dinner time. That's right, and I appreciate you all for sitting at the table to eat this dinner. Let's go. And that's DINNAH for all my non-Bostonian people out there. Happy New Year, Richie. Happy New Year, William. Let's see. You got Thomas in the building. Always leave them wanting more. Robert O'Brien, Richie, how do you document receipts that say Marshalls and TJ Maxx that don't have UPC number on them in case of IP claims or inauthentic claims? This is a very, very good question. And it's something I don't do, but I know how you can do it. So with Marshalls and TJ Maxx, you need to literally take your receipt and before you take that price tag off of, like before you scrape off the sticker, the price tag sticker off of the product, you need to take a picture with the receipt, with that number that coincides with the price sticker on every single item. You'll have to document that. What I would suggest, just sell what you got to sell. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I don't worry about it. I've never done that. In 3 years, I've never had an issue of IP claims from Marshalls, TJ Maxx, or whatnot. But if you want to be safe, then sorry, you have to take pictures of the receipt with the sticker price tag next to every item. You pick up, like I picked up 100 hats. I would have had to have taken 100 pictures of the receipt with each tag. Takes up a lot of time, but that's how you do it. Let's see. Happy birthday says, Happy New Year and thank you for the videos. I found some chicken dinners. Dinners, not dinners, dinners. But I get it. I found them chicken dinners at Walmart today. That's what it's all about. Yeah, Walmart's been coming down on price, which is why we're going there on Sunday for our live hustle. I haven't had a chance to get there since the last time I went to Walmart. But we're going to Walmart Sunday. William says steak, lobster, and chill for New Year's Eve. That's right. We just did some Chinese food, spent it with some friends. It was good times. Let's see. I drank about a dozen Mexican Cokes and played a game of Risk to kick off the new year. Awesome. Awesome. Me, I stuck with my Crown, had a beer. This will be the last drink for about a week till we meet up again on next Friday. I don't drink too often, surprisingly. This is literally, if it wasn't for New Year's Eve and the holidays and all that stuff, right? I usually drink this during these videos, or if I go on live on IG, sometimes I'll have a drink sometimes. It kind of helps me unwind and be a little bit more of myself. You know what I mean? Let's see. Evening. Hey, Stu. How are you? Hey, and in Tall Pines, we got Alex saying, I made a grilled cheese sandwich and had a glass of wine for New Year's Eve. Sometimes that's the best, man. You know what I mean? Did you put bacon on that grilled cheese? Some tomato? You know what I mean? Or was it just cheese and bread? That's a hustle sandwich right there. Hope you had a good one, Richie, all day. You already know. Nicole says, hi, Happy New Year. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Happy New Year to you as well. Everybody dropping Happy New Year in the chat, GMS. Jake. Hey, Richie, do you like Dragon Ball Z? Just wondering. I love Dragon Ball Z. I really do. Last time I was wearing my Vegeta shirt, Prince Saiyan, and somebody called me out on it, said they liked it. So I do like Dragon Ball Z. J-Wack, hey, brother, end of the year with a personal high profit. That is what's up, man. We're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about year-ending numbers and all that good stuff. 2020 is going to be a great year. We're just getting started. You already know. At one time, you said there would be some major toy markdown. Do you think this will still happen? Oh, yes. But so we're going to get into that. Okay? Definitely going to get into that. I got an IP notice on JAM or JAM products. I literally took a photo of the item in my hand inside the store, TJ Maxx. In the back, they were cool with it. Cool. How do you tell if the clothes you're buying at Ross are B grade or sold with defect? Unfortunately, I don't have a Ross. I'm assuming it's similar to TJ Maxx and Marshalls. A lot of times, people have the misconception, I think, of TJ Maxx and Marshalls of having all defective merchandise. While imperfection merchandise is true to a point, I would say the majority of the stock that they get is overstock. You know what I mean? It's overstock. The season's ending. It's just overstock that they don't want to push, so they sell it to them for a real cheap price. So these name brands can move it out and make something, because holding on to it, they're going to make nothing. You know what I mean? Let's see. My products are invoice coming down tomorrow. I'm getting toys and Nerf. Wish me luck. Absolutely, Logan. Good luck with that. From one Italian to another, Happy New Year. And I appreciate the motivation. All right, Joe, Happy New Year. Robin says, thanks for the answer. Got hit with 2 IP claims for some food items from Kellogg's. I don't know. Yeah, I don't mess with grocery. My account is good, which is great. Glad the account is still good. Ross will make the price tag if there is a defect. Okay. I actually want to take a trip to Ross. The closest one to me is like 4 hours away. See, RG Slot one says, do I promote listings on Amazon? Sometimes I do. I did a lot of paid promotions on Amazon when I was buying a lot of wholesale, which I'm getting back into. I do promote the listing, but only if there's like less than 5 people on it. Otherwise, I'm really promoting the buy box for other people. You know what I mean? So there has to be like 3 to 5 people on it, so I can ensure that my advertising is going to good use. You know what I mean? So, guys, let's get into some 7-course meal dinners right now, okay? So, it is 2021, new year, new ideas, new hustles, new everything, right? Now, I'm not the one to say, hey, let's wait until the first of the year to make changes. Hell no. This just happens to be changes that we're making at the beginning of the year. We don't wait to make changes. We don't wait. We don't say, oh, when the summertime comes, I'll get into it, all that stuff. No. We make changes now. We take action. That's what we do. We take action. There are some things in the works. I've been getting a couple of IMs, instant messaging, right? DMs on IG about some Hustleholic merchandise, and we are going to bring that site back up, but we're going to revamp it to be really basic, simple. You know what I mean? Simple tees, simple hoodies, simple hats. You know what I mean? Guys and girls, We are going to be bringing some merch at hustleholics.com. Right now, it is under construction because it's not finished yet. We haven't finished like designs and all that stuff, but it should be up by the end of the month. That's number one. Number two, the second biggest question I get or have gotten within the past week or two was, what's up with the markdowns? Like you had said, I think it was Thomas that said about the markdowns. Here's the thing with the markdowns. I've literally have seen 50% off right now, right? Some even said there was like 70% off in some stores and whatnot, right? And a lot of people are waiting for the 80 and 90% markdowns, and I think that's a mistake this year. I'll tell you why. I went to Walgreens. We all know that Walgreens has their infamous 90% off sale. But right now, if you went to Walgreens, you would find that they have 50% off a lot of their toys. And even at 50% off, a lot of their toys are profitable. Well, why this year? Why are they profitable this year at 50% off? And like last year and the year before that, they weren't so profitable at 50% off. We had to wait for 70 and 90% off. Well, to me, the answer is pretty simple. More people are online. More people are shopping online, which is helping to help drive the demand for online items up, which is making the sellers raise their prices a little bit. So now these 50% off Barbie drum sets, Mickey guitars, Halo action figures that you would have only made $1 or $2, now you're going to make $6 or $7 because the premiums increased. This is just something I think I personally noticed, and I don't need to be greedy and sit there and say, oh, I can only make, I'm spending $3.50 for a normally $7 item, and I'm going to make back $8 profit. No. I want to wait because I want to make $12 profit. You know what I mean? Like, I just, you got to get it now because I guarantee it. If you wait for 80 to 90% off, you're going to be competing with a lot of people. And I also don't think the price, and because of that, the price has been driven up slightly. But when everybody starts accumulating across whatever area you're in and start throwing it into listing, and now you went from, you thought maybe 13 sellers was decent. Now you've got 37 sellers, right? And everybody's crashing the price, right? So your 90% off really wasn't worth it because you're not getting, you're getting almost the same amount of profit as if you got it for 50% off, but you just waited a little longer instead of getting your inventory in. That's just my take on it. That's how I personally look at it. So I've been going on to Walgreens. I've been clearing out 50% off. And I heard that Walmart now is having 70% off in some areas. So we're going to check out BQOOL. Tomorrow we're going to do some studying to see what the best Walmart, to see if we could get into a BQOOL deal. You know what I mean? See if we can pull in that dinner from Walmart. Because I haven't been to Walmart in a while. And there's a good reason for that. I'm not. I try to put myself in a big box manager or CEO shoes, right? If I know that all of these people are home from work, they're buying online, before Christmas weeks, like even like the last week of November, no sales, right? We would dry in Target, dry in Walmart, because why would you put things on sale? If you want that item, then you're going to pay the price. Otherwise, it's going to be too late, right? Christmas. After Christmas, who cares? There's no demand for that item anymore. That's why everything gets marked down, because they want to make room for new inventory. But before Christmas, the whole month of December was completely dry, which is why I spent a lot of time in TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, because their toys seem to be in demand. And I thought that the TJX companies were by far the most profitable. Now, there were items in Walmart that you could profit from. I'm not saying there was no items in Walmart that you could buy from and all that stuff, right? For me, what I look for, the things that I look for, I wasn't impressed. I did clean up. You guys saw we cleaned up on the Magic Bullets, right? The Tupperwares, which are gone, those are sold. We cleaned up on, what were the other items? We cleaned the Tefal, those sold. Dude, people in Mexico were buying Tefals like crazy. I think I sold most of my Tefals in Mexico. Go figure, right? Awesome. So, you know, we there was items in Walmart, but after that, there really wasn't any. I mean, unless you were doing like the whole gingerbread house thing, right? Like select holiday things specifically for Christmas, to me, wasn't worth it. Which is why I didn't spend a lot of time in Walmart. But I know the biggest markdowns haven't even happened yet. And then they're not gonna happen for another week or so. But certain Walmarts are going already all in. They want to get rid of that crap. They do. They want to get rid of that inventory. You know what I mean? Let's go to some questions here. See if anybody's dropped some questions in the chat. Let's see. Rhode Island over here. I'd be in Bellingham very often. Awesome. Texas here. Happy New Year to you and the fam. Thank you for all your YouTube videos for 2020. Look, I really appreciate that, Orlando. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Armando says tips for new sellers. Get started. Scan everything that you can. You know, scan whatever you can. Whatever you can sell. Do not focus on what you cannot sell. Too many sellers, in my opinion, they focus so much on what they cannot sell. Oh, I can't sell, I can't sell, I can't sell. You need to focus and praise what you can sell, because it's gonna weigh you down. You know what I mean? If you keep telling yourself, oh, I can't sell this, I can't sell that, it's gonna weigh you down. So if there's one thing I could say, get started, focus on what you can sell, and make it happen. You know what I mean? And guys, just a heads up too, I am home. My wife and kids should be coming home soon. So if you hear a little bit of an intermission, the wife and kids are coming home. I actually took my separate vehicle. We were at my in-laws' house, so my wife's parents in Boston. We were there hanging out. I took my own truck so that way I could leave a little early, so that way I could be here to hang out with you guys. So I took a separate vehicle. So if they happen to walk in during the live, excuse the small interruption. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got it. Hey Karen, how you doing? Wanted to tell you I sourced at Walmart for the first time till 10:30 p.m. I am so stoked. Thank you for showing your life. Hustle from Washington State. It's a long way. Karen, thank you for being part of the Hustleholics team, part of the crew. Always here showing up, making it happen, setting up that Amazon account, and taking action. That's what's most important. Let's see, the middleman. How you doing, the middleman picker? J-Wax says there's still a lot of hidden clearance at Walmart. The 12-inch Halo action figure 4-pack was $9 hidden clearance. And you are absolutely right. I picked up 5 of them. I've already sent them in. Also, what else is hidden clearance is the Barbie. It's the Barbie Pets. These are all the same size, those big rectangular boxes. The Barbie Pets playset. The Halo 4-pack. The Frozen, I think it's a Frozen 5-pack. They're like plush dolls inside. And Blue's Clues. And there's some other ones that were really good. And they almost fit perfectly in a 22 by 18 box. You have to stretch. The box has to like kind of disfigure a little bit. But generally it fits pretty good in there. The Tupperware you bought during Black Friday. Hold on. Where was I? The Tupperware you bought during Black Friday at Walmart was 2 for $5 in Austin this week. 2 for $5? Oh, man. I haven't checked the price. I've already blown out of the Tupperware. I haven't checked the price lately to see what the price is selling for on Amazon. But that sounds great. I mean, $2.50 for one, right? 2 for $5. That's crazy. Logan says, have you ever tried opening a case with Amazon so they will stop suppressing a buy box? I have a replen list that got suppressed out of nowhere and price had been going down, not up. I have not. I have never opened a case for anything that has, or any ASIN that's been suppressed. I've never, I don't have any info of that. I wish I did. I've never come across that yet. Just got back from getting those dinners. That's how you do it. The first of the year. Make sure you're hustling. Make sure you're out there. Thomas says, do you think there will be any blue cheese deals Sunday? I don't know. It's taking a gamble on Walmart, you know. We're either going to find some good stuff in Walmart on Sunday. We might find a little. We might find a couple Brixie deals. We might walk out of there with zero. It's just the nature of the business. I hope there's some blue cheese dinners over there. You know what I mean? We always like blue cheese. You know what I mean? Let's see. Just came in. I found a lot of dinners in TJ Maxx and Marshall's. Happy New Year to you and your beautiful family. I appreciate that. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Let's see. I saw the Barbie, but I'm still gated in that. Yeah, man. Look, you gotta get ungated in Barbie. Barbie's always going on sale, and always going on sale. See, Jason says, hey everyone, I'm ready to crush it in 2021. That's what we like. We like positive vibes. 2021 crush action. Let's see. Harlan says hi from Maine. Hey Harlan, how you doing? Colby, Happy New Year's, Richie. Happy New Year's, Colby. So let's talk about let's take a little into 2020 and what happened, right? And like what we did. 2020, right? As we enter the new year, I think it's important to really reflect on all the accomplishments you did, all the positives and everything that worked, everything that did not work, because it's almost sometimes more important to pay attention to what did not work than what did work, okay? Because we want to learn from that. Also, we want to look back and say, you know, this product worked, and this product worked. And we also, you know what else we want to do? You want to commit to yourself that, hey, I'm going to research X amount of distributors. I'm going to try to find a distributor in toys. I'm going to try to find a distributor in maybe grocery, maybe collectibles, maybe something, okay? Make commitments to yourself, follow through, take action, and make sure you stick with them. Let's see, does Walmart carry the Nike and other hats you got earlier? You know, Thomas, I don't know if Walmart carries Nike. They may. I feel like I want to say maybe. But those hats and stuff that I got, that was actually from Marshall's and TJ Maxx. That's what those winter hats are from there. I'm not sure if Walmart carries Nike, but I don't know. In TJ Maxx, they are marking things down, curling irons and flat irons and Nike items. Absolutely. So I picked up about 15 or 20 curling wands, curling irons. I love beauty. You guys know in my videos, I love the beauty section. There's just such a market for it, you know. Even like lotions, topicals, if you're ungated in that, those sell really well too. Like there's just a lot that's good in the beauty section. Sometimes it takes a lot of time because if you go to the TJ Maxx or you go into Marshall's, you see those little bitty bottles, right? And if you think about it, sometimes there's probably like 70 on a shelf sometimes, depending on the size. And you're sitting there and you're trying to scan. It's time consuming, you know? But let's see. But I love the beauty section. Logan says, got my first and authentic claim. Confused if I need to take action. I get negative on my account. It seemed like the only consequence was Amazon deleted the listing, but I already sold out. So I think what Amazon does now is they've changed the way they suspend accounts. And instead of normally back in the day, they would just ask no questions. They'd suspend you. You'd have to prove your innocence and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I think this year they made a change where they're just going to take you off that listing or delete that listing from you selling on there. And I'm not sure if you get what's a strike or not, but definitely if you go into your account health and you look down, if there's an area to like appeal or something like that, I would definitely appeal it so you could try to get that off your account and submit whatever they're looking for. That's what I would do. Beauty is big business. Maybelline camo is at Dollar Tree for $1. Target sells for $10. That sounds like a hustle right there. That sounds like a big hustle right there. So switching gears, right? So in 2021, and I've been talking a lot about, if you guys don't follow me on IG or Instagram, make sure you head over to Richie Hustles or at Richie Hustles on Instagram. Give me a follow so that way you don't miss anything. Sometimes I like to act a fool on there. We have fun on the IG, and I share a lot of different directions that I try to go to, and sometimes I go live on Instagram. So make sure you head over there and follow me after this live. Let's see. I don't say it much. We've had my mod RG Slotwins in there telling everybody, but I'll tell everybody in case you haven't seen it. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button if you're a true hustleaholic and you know you're going to make life-changing decisions in 2021, right? You're going to take action. You're going to make it happen, okay? That's the beauty of it. And don't be afraid to fail. Listen, I'll be the first to admit, I love seeing people win. I'm never a person that's like, oh, how come they have more than me? How come they have less? How come they have more than me? They're doing better. How come they're selling more? How come, oh my God, they did that much in 1 year? I've been selling 3 years and I haven't done, I'm not like that. I'm only focused on myself and making myself better. Everybody's situation is different. You know what I mean? I will tell you this though. My numbers, which I did release, my 2020 sales number, that big number that everybody always asks me for. I did make a promise that at the end of the year, I would release my number, and that's what I did. And I just want to elaborate a little bit on the number. When people ask me, what do you do? How much are you doing for the month? How much profit? How much this? How much that? Look, to be quite blunt, at the end of the day, I know a lot of people, they want that inspiration, right? Like, oh, what's he doing? How much is he selling? What's he doing? They want that inspiration, and I get it. I understand it, right? But in my eyes, it's really the reason why I say it's nobody's business about numbers, and this is why I say this. When you release a number, that number, somebody's looking at the number saying, wow, either wow, that's really crazy, or wow, that's it, or oh, I know he ain't doing that much, or wow, he's doing fantastic, right? Everybody can interpret, I can't talk. Everybody can assume the number in their own thinking. And I don't like to release numbers because I don't think the number should define the person, the seller, or whatnot. Yes, it's inspiring, and a lot of big Amazon accounts and non-big Amazon accounts release their numbers. And that's cool, you know what I mean? Me, I don't like releasing my numbers just because there's a lot that goes into the number. Like, for instance, I have taken out of my income to try to cut myself a paycheck and basically living off Amazon since September. September 1st, I made a promise to myself that Amazon would become my full-time, but not full-time, because I still carry the 9 to 5, okay? It would become my part-time, but full-time, and we'd try to live off Amazon as if the 9 to 5 did not exist. And what I did was, I basically took my pay. Hey, baby girl. My daughter was waving hi. What I did was, I would transfer. Honey, you can't because of the wire, okay? Come around this way. You say hi real quick. Real quick break. I'm going to say hi. We're live. Hi. Say hi.
Hi.
All right. Let me finish up. I'm talking, okay? Love you. So what I was trying to say was, with the number, I started cutting myself. I took my paycheck at my 9 to 5. And what I did was, I said I get paid basically every 2 weeks or whatever. I took that number, divided it by 5 days a week, and I would basically pay myself 5 days a week. I would transfer it from my business into my personal, and I would try to live off just Amazon. And the money from my 9 to 5 would go into a separate account, which I wouldn't touch. And I've been able to do that since September 1st. So a lot of that money has come out of the sales numbers, because that's personal money now, right? That's not sales money, that's personal money. Another reason that I don't want to say held me back, because I still move forward, was doing YouTube takes a lot of time, you know? When I'm outsourcing, it's like killing two birds with one stone because I'm buying those products anyways. Like I would be already out buying those products, except I'm documenting most of the time what I'm buying or sometimes what I'm buying. So it's like doing the same thing at once, right? But now comes the editing. The editing part sometimes can take a while. Cut scenes, cutting out stuff, being a husband, being a daddy, sometimes it just happens. I got to stop what I'm doing and do other things. You know what I mean? I gotta live life. You know what I mean? Most of the time, I'm finishing packing and prepping and all that good stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I pay Amazon to do pretty much all the prepping. So like I don't and labeling. I don't label. I haven't labeled a product or prepped a product in a very long time. I just haven't done it because that time back, those 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on how many products I have, right? We'll say 2, 3 hours. Those 2, 3 hours I could spend prepping, labeling, and all that stuff. I get back and I can do whatever I want with that time, So December 26th, December 27, 28, and 29, 3 days I went super hard. Like super hard. Like I woke up, ate breakfast, headed out, and I started sourcing. Okay? Then after I started sourcing, I came home, prepped, packed, and tried to I tried to prep, pack, and then I would do again. Okay? I would constantly be out and then coming back. It's just go to bed, wake up, prep, pack, go out, shop, come back, all this stuff. Okay? And then what I would do is I would what do you call it? I lost my train of thought. It was just a busy 72 hours. You know what I mean? It was just nonstop. Let me head back into the chat and see if we have any. Don't worry about it. Just maybe don't sell anymore. The email they sent says they might deactivate my account if I get more inauthentic claims, but really doesn't seem like this is too serious. Okay. The other one says beauty is big business. Yes. Okay, I already read that one. I'm just trying to find out where I was. Yeah, I don't see anything about it in my account. Hell, just the email send me. Maybe I won't do anything. Thanks. I mean, if you got an email, I would maybe call them just to kind of maybe like, because the last thing you want to do is ignore something. Maybe you didn't get a notification that they sent you. You know what I mean? Let's see. I hadn't thought to claim and submitted a receipt. It was taken off. If you don't mind sharing, what type of receipt was it? Was it like a Walmart receipt, a Target receipt? Do you mind sharing that with the chat? Let's see. So you did say you would share your end of year number. So what was your end of year profit on Amazon? To be fair, I'll share. So I shared my total sales number. That's what I shared. That's what I agreed to share. You can use your imagination for profit. Usually profit is anywhere between it's usually about 0.4, 0.5. But if you head over to the IG, you'll be able to see it in the story. But that's great. You have the right mindset, Rich. I appreciate that. Not all stuff is winning all the time. I hear your point about the numbers. People do hate and sometimes don't believe you. And you know what? It's not even about not believing me or anything like that. It's just like I don't want to be known as a number. You know what I mean? Like some people that share their numbers are just known as guys that share their numbers, and it's inspiring to see that and stuff, and like, all that stuff is like really inspiring. Like for instance, just because it's made public, like Amazon Lit showed his number, and his number was like 38.5 million in sales. That's absolutely nuts. You know what I mean? And generally profit is anywhere between, I think he said between 20 and 40%. It just depends on the product, really. I haven't gone that far yet. I'm sure tax time is going to be real fun. But you know, these big dogs, man, their numbers are nuts, nuts. One day, it's not a question of if I ever get to that number. It's when I get to that number. That's how you have to think. See, Project X says, "What was your sales? I missed it." So, I'll show it to you on the screen here. For those that, let's see. Let me see. So this was the IG post. And this was the number for 2020. And that's why I don't like to post numbers generally, because numbers can be gauged like, I don't know. Why like I don't want to know somebody just because of their number. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, honestly, at the end of the day, whether you sold 84 million or 12 million, I don't give a shit. I only care about my numbers and what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But people do get inspired by seeing, wow, if that person's part-time, or if this and that, like I can't explain it. I can't explain it. A lot of it's like just emotion and mental. I just don't like sharing numbers. But I only shared it because I promised I would share my end of year number. And that's that. Back to the hustle. Let's see. I appreciate everybody being here. You know what I mean? I really do. And a lot of you show up week after week. You know, it's really cool to know that there are such good people out there that want to hustle and that want to make change and that want to better themselves and see others as like, I don't like, not like you're all just, it's like part of the fuel that helps keep me going. So I appreciate, honestly, all of you that show up, that hustle, and a lot of you guys that are out there killing it are very inspiring to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people. You know, sometimes it shows people that, hey, I can go out, I can start, I can do it. If this person can do it and they have all this stuff going on in their life, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? Like, I look at numbers and I'm like, psst, I'm gonna have that one day. I am. I'm gonna have it one day. You know? I told my wife, I said, you know something? I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 45. And that could be from anything. Could be from Amazon, could be from Bitcoin, could be I hit the lottery or something. But I said, I'm going to be a millionaire before I'm 45. And I really, truly believe that. And I think I still have plenty of time before I'm 45. Some of you know how old I am. Some of you don't. It's all good. But I am going to be a millionaire before 45. That's just setting, it's like putting it out to the universe. Like setting that, like, hey, by this time, like subconsciously, almost makes me want to work harder and harder and harder and harder. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to crunch time, baby, like, you got to do it. You got to execute. You got to take action. And it's not all about money. Like, it's not all about money. It's like I love what I do. Like, literally, I absolutely love what I do. Like, the amount of sacrifice that I've put into this, and I'm sorry to go on like that, but it's like the amount of sacrifice, because I know a lot of you feel me. You know what I mean? A lot of you feel what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And the amount of sacrifice, like, when I first started Amazon, like, not being able to put your kids in bed or kiss them goodnight, you come home late because you're making extra money to try to fuel your business, you don't get that time back. Like, it's one thing you don't get back. When you sacrifice time, you can't get that back. It just doesn't happen. You can't go back in time and make it happen. So to me, that's the ultimate sacrifice, and I know a lot of you do that. So salute to you. All right. Let's get back into some funness. I'm sorry to go on like that, but I'm passionate, man. I love this stuff. Like, I love, like, Pokemon cards. Like, a back. Do you understand? People are paying hundreds of $1,000s for cardboard cards. It's nuts. Like, collectibles are fire. Like, Funko Pops, comic books. Like, what? Like, people are crushing it without even thinking about going to work for somebody else. People are just making it happen. And hats off, man. That's because it's an amazing, 2020 sucked in a lot of ways. But I think 2020 really helped. It either helped you open your eyes to try to make new opportunity happen for a crappy situation, or 2020 was something that you just kind of laid back and cruised and said, yeah, man, I'm going to do nothing. This is great. I'm getting paid extra, unemployment, blah, blah, blah. Screw that. I don't want government to pay me. I don't want nothing. Nobody owes me shit. Period. And that's how I always look at life. Nobody owes me nothing. You know what I mean? That's like the mindset. All right, I promise you, we're back. I get passionate. You know what I mean? I get passionate. Let's get back in it. Look, I'm not you. Listen, they still got half a glass there, so you know it ain't the alcohol talking. Let's see. We know you're more than just numbers. I appreciate that. It inspired me because you're still working at night. Yeah. And listen, the 9 to 5 is, I'm working from home, but that's allowing me to work my Amazon business like that. I don't think I'd be able to work the Amazon business as much if I was still traveling and commuting back and forth to the office. So it's, 2020 worked out great for me. I'm knock on wood. My family has stayed healthy. My immediate family, my distant family, my in-laws, my sister-in-laws, everybody's luckily been in good health. We're being careful, and that's just what you got to do. Without health, you really have nothing, right? Let's see. Have you read Profit First? A book called Profit First? I have not. I appreciate you putting so much work in doing YouTube. It's hard, RG. You know what I mean? I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Carla Spivey says, I get in specifics. Are your business and shocked that you would share them, but they are inspirational. I think you should always hold something close to your heart sometimes. Yeah. And that's why throughout the year I don't post numbers. I don't need to. Like, for what? You know what I mean? Like, I like to post growth. So what I was doing is I was posting my growth, month over month, but I was just whiting out the numbers because numbers don't matter. Growth matters. There's a saying that I absolutely love. I'm really thinking about getting a tattooed on my back. It's a saying that says, I never did anything for money. I never set money as a goal. It was a result. If you love what you're doing, you're focused on what you're doing, and the money's going to follow you. Do you understand? If you're setting money as a goal, sometimes you can get wrapped up in, I need to make this much. I need to do this. I need to do that. And you need to stop worrying about that. You just need to focus on what you love to do, and the money is going to follow. As long as you're being disciplined and doing it, the money's going to come. That's what that is. And I'm really thinking about getting that tattooed, on the chest, on the back, something. I really love that saying. In the office, I printed it out. I had it pinned in my office. It's just something I've always went by for, over 10 years now. Let's see. Angel says, you skipped over my comment. Have you ever sent a listing only to have it gated? Oh, I'm sorry, Angel. I did not see your comment. I apologize. Angel, let me see. Hold on. Have you ever sent in on a listing only to have it gated later? What did you do? Yes. It's happened to me a couple times. So I think it happened to me literally twice. From the time I purchased it to the time I brought it home, prepped it, and sent it out, I was restricted and I could not get ungated without an invoice or something like that. And what I had to do is I had to recall the item and sell it on Mercari. Or I think it was so long ago, I was still selling on eBay, so I think I pushed it on eBay. But it did happen to me. Let's see. Time is so valuable. Appreciate your passion. Thank you. When you make the million, you will want 2 million. I know. Japan will pay a fortune for Americana. Yeah, that's the word on the street. Let's see. Hubby sold vintage Levi's, never worn, for $5,000. Really? So your husband sold vintage Levi's. So when you say vintage Levi's, do you mean like one pair of Levi's for $5,000 in Japan? Or do you mean like a couple pairs? Because I know Japan will pay a lot for American stuff. I do know that. I've heard some crazy stories, but if you're talking about one pair of Levi's for $5,000, that's unbelievable. That's like a hustle, and I need to look into that. Says, whoa, you're full-time Amazon now? No. Nope. I still have the 9 to 5, but I've been on vacation for the last 2 weeks, and it's allowed me to go full-time for the last 2 weeks, pretty much, which is why I've gone so hard, because next week we're back at 9 to 5 and kind of rotating off and stuff like that. So we're going to see how that goes. I have a new product that I'm pretty pumped about getting into Amazon, and I think this is really going to help scale the business. It's a wholesale product, and I can't wait to get my hands on this, to send this in. We're going to do a test run first. We're going to send in like 100 units just to test it out. Like, everything looks great. The rank looks great. The keeper chart looks great. The sales per month look great. Everything looks great, and there's only 3 other FBA sellers on this product. We're talking buying it for $16 and selling it for almost $60. Like, I can't wait. Let's see. We live in a time where you can monetize anything. Do what you love and the money will follow. Absolutely. Sometimes you have to factor in the money, though. Yeah, I mean, depends. I love that saying and will adopt it. Thank you. If you want to be a professional boxer, sometimes discipline is hard. Won't bring money and results. Well, I got an answer to that. If you want to be a professional boxer, sometimes everything's all good and dandy until you get punched in the mouth. Everybody got a plan until you're punched in the mouth, right? Do we know where that saying's from? Who said that? Let me see. First one in the chat. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Who said that? Absolutely. Mike Tyson said that. That's another thing that happens too. And you could kind of tie that back in. You know what I mean? It was Mike Tyson. You know, and that saying is so basic and simple, but it's so true, right? Like, we say things like, oh my God, I'm going to hustle. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, right? And you're killing it. You're sending everything in. And then all of a sudden you get an IP complaint, right? It's almost like a punch in the mouth, right? It's like, oh, I just sent in, 300 of this item. I get an IP complaint. Oh my God, what am I going to do? That's like a punch in the mouth. So it's like, you could have the biggest plan in the world, but if you don't have a backup, or if you don't have multiple things in place, basically not putting all your eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? It just you said professional boxing, so that kind of made me think of that other saying that I like. Talent must be included in what you do. Yeah, but talent. What? There's another saying. You listen, Caltrix. You're bringing up all these sayings. I can't think of the talent saying, but I know I have it in my head. One pair. Wow, one pair of Levi's for $5,000. That is absolutely friggin' bananas. BANANAS. All right. My wife is laughing in the background. She's like, "Really, Gwen Stefani? Like, plug? Really?" Check it out. We couldn't believe it either. Yeah, I am gonna check that out. That's really good, Mike. Tyson. Yeah. So, let's talk about the future of this channel for a little bit. I like to post things in the community, right? I post, like, sometimes I've been a little slack, and it's been a little crazy with the holidays. I'm gonna get back to my daily posts on YouTube. I'm gonna start. I put up my polls because I respect everybody's input. Because listen, without you in the community, there is no channel, right? Without viewers, there's nobody. Without Hustleholics, there's no channel, right? So I like to put up polls and get everybody's input. What else we want to talk about, guys? What else are we doing? We got a couple more minutes here. I'd like to learn more about the Pokemon hustle. Yeah, Logan. So I'll go into that a little bit. So the Pokemon hustle. So way back when, I was my younger brother collected Pokemon. He was little. He was 8 years younger than me, and Pokemon came out, I think, in 95 or 96. So I was 15, 16, and my brother was like 8, 9 years old. So he would always collect it. And I kind of collected it because I was already collecting comic books, but I wasn't big into it because I was 16. You know what I mean? I was doing other things. But he did leave me all his cards. So I had all his cards, and I looked at it when this Pokemon phenomenon came back. So fast forward, right? Fast forward from 16, 17 until now, 2020. You can figure it out, right? With this Pokemon craze, I went in the basement, and I'm like, you know what? I think I have some cards that like I had and some that my brother had given me and whatnot. And let me look up the values. And I found a plethora of like first edition holos, first edition non-holos, shadowless cards, unlimited Charizards, 2, 3 of them I sent in, like just nuts. Like every single holographic in the set, in that first base set, I had some doubles. Like I had like 3 Blastoise. Anyways, to get into that, I started looking and I started paying attention. I started being like, okay, where can I get, the newer version of these cards? And I started kind of like researching like eBay and Macari. I just typed in like Pokemon cards, and I was just like, okay, and I sorted from the highest price so I could see what was the most valuable. You know what I mean? And a lot of these new cards are going for thousands, hundreds, some of them thousands of dollars. And I was just like, holy crap, right? So I said to myself, I need to get my hands not on a couple of packs at Walmart, because you pay a premium at Walmart. You know what I mean? Those Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes cost $50 per box, right? And they're really hard to find. So I did that when I was in Walmart, right? I got 9 of them, spent $450 on those, right? But I'm selling them for $80 a piece online. But I Googled Pokemon trading card distributors. List comes up, and I clicked on every one of them, and I tried to open up accounts with I think about 4 or 5, and I was able to open up two accounts successfully. Now I'm able to get in on the pre-orders going forward, but the problem I'm having as a new buyer with some of these distributors, and I'm learning this as I go, I have to deal with allocation. So allocation is, from what I understand, are basically set aside for their biggest and best spenders that have been with the company for the longest time, that spend the most money, right? It's almost like what do you call it, like at work when you have seniority, right? It's almost like seniority. So they allocate these sets to, the top bidder first. Whoever spent the most money, been with them, love their best customer, gets the first pick first. And then it tiers down. I got shut out at Vivid Voltage. I got allocated none. I tried to get into Unbroken Bonds, an older booster box set. I got allocated none. But I was able to get, I got a case, and the case has 6 booster boxes of Rebel Clash, Crimson Invasion, Darkness Ablaze, and some other boxes. But that's how, it's just really just digging in deep, finding out what the cards are going for, finding out what sets have the best and biggest pulls. For instance, a lot of people talk about the Shining Charizard, the Shiny Charizard. Well, that comes from the Hidden Fates set. You know what I mean? People talk about the Rainbow Rare Charizard. That comes from the Champions Path set. The Rainbow Rare Pikachu. That comes from the Vivid Voltage set, right? So these are cards that are going for like thousands of dollars in a PSA graded 10, which is super hard to get. A lot of people get 9s, but that's part of the Pokemon hustle, right? Just the same as if somebody was interested in grocery or toys, you would just type in toy distributors, grocery distributors, and whatnot, and you kind of go through them all, and you try to open up accounts with as many people as you can. Let's see. I have a product that needs a poly bag. The med is too small for the larger size. Is too big. Is the wrong way. I don't know, because I pay Amazon to do all that. You know what I mean? I'm in a position where I just pay Amazon to prep all that stuff. I have put smaller products in big, like I put like small soaps into a big poly bag, and what I would do is I would just kind of wrap it around and then put a piece of tape on it. Kind of do that. Richie said, believe in yourself. You are braver than you think, more talented than you know, and capable of more than you imagine. I like that. I like that, Rich. Some of the distributors tell you can't sell on Amazon. Right. So we don't tell the distributors. I don't tell distributors that I sell on Amazon. There's an old mafia saying, okay? You never volunteer information. All of us Italians know that. Never volunteer information, right? So when they ask you, what do? Do you sell online? Do you have a brick and mortar store? My response is always, I do sell online. That could be anything. I could be selling on YouTube, having auctions. I could be selling on Mercari, eBay. I don't have to be an Amazon seller. I never tell them I sell on Amazon unless they ask me. Unless they specifically ask me, do you sell on Amazon? I do answer truthfully, and I let them know, right? And what happens is, if I get denied, which has happened, they'll deny me. I'm sorry. We don't, we sell to people who only have brick and mortar stores or whatnot. We don't support Amazon sellers, and that's fine. Don't support me. There are plenty of other distributors out there that will work with you. But I never volunteer information. You feel me? And there's no need to. You're not lying if you're not asked the question, right? So I only let them know I sell on Amazon if they specifically ask me, are you an Amazon seller? I tell them the truth. It is what it is. You like that, huh? Do you have a warehouse, or at what point do you plan to get one? That is a fantastic question, Logan. I was just talking about this earlier today. So right now, my mindset is I treat my mortgage as if it was a warehouse, because I work in my garage. Sometimes I work in the kitchen. If it's really cold outside, because my heater, my garage is a mess, I have to clean it first so I can set up, all that stuff. But I think for me personally, I thought about getting a warehouse, but now you have to think. I would then have to support a mortgage and a warehouse, which would be pretty much a second mortgage. And I could do that right now. But to me, I think it's wasted money. And I'll tell you why. It's wasted money because I haven't outgrown. I've flipped everything so quickly that I haven't outgrown it. I'm almost outgrowing it, but I haven't outgrown my garage yet. And if you ask my wife that, she'll tell you, yes, I have outgrown it. Because lately I've been using my garage and the kitchen space to go back and forth. So, I think the time is coming. I made a promise to myself that I would only go out and get a warehouse when YouTube pays for my entire mortgage. So that way I know that YouTube is paying for my mortgage and my Amazon will pay for the warehouse. So it's part of the plan. I'm not sure if it'll go that way. Right now, YouTube, to be transparent, YouTube pays for about half of the mortgage. So if I can get YouTube to pay for the full mortgage, then I think I would be more ambitious getting out there looking for space. What I don't want to do is I'm going on to year 3. This is year 3 right now. So from I think September started the beginning of year 3 for me selling on Amazon. And I'm no guru, I'm no professional. I don't know what the future can bring. I do like to dive headfirst into a lot of things, right? But I have a family, that I support. We put roof over the head, food on the table, all that good stuff. And the last thing I don't want is to not have a plan. So my plan is YouTube pays for the mortgage, Amazon will pay for the warehouse. You know what I mean? And honestly, I can't say it's been so good with the 9 to 5. I really can't say I would even quit then, because the line of work I'm doing right now is so basic that it's just, why would it's a 6-figure salary. Why would I leave that? You know what I'm saying? If it's doable at home. So there is plans in the works for a warehouse, and it might come up sooner than later. We have to see what happens. Let's see. I'm gonna show this just because I think it's funny. But Leo Oliver says, "Do you ever run down the street naked with a lampshade on your head?" I don't kind of question that is? The question says, and I could either show it or hide it, but I thought it was pretty entertaining. Do you ever run down the street naked? I have never run down the street naked with a lampshade on my head. But if you'd like me to stream that live, if you're interested in that type of stuff, I mean, you can join the members only, and we can, you know, I mean, we could send it. I mean, Leo, if you're into that stuff.
Okay.
Ah, man, that was a funny one. That made me smile. And RG Slot wins his cosign in that. OnlyFans for Richie Hustles. No, thank you. All right, guys, let's see. I've been watching this lady who goes into various thrift stores, buy purses, and sells them from her car when she leaves. She's making $50 to $100 on each purse before she leaves parking lot daily. That is crazy. That is like, I call that the slap in the face hustle. That's the, hey, I just bought this for $2. I'll sell it to you for 50. If you were here 10 minutes earlier, you could have got it for $2 too. So if you can make that happen. Did you need college degree to land your 9 to 5? No. So I can't go into like my 9 to 5. I can't go into it too much about what I do yet. Some of you already know, and sometimes I slip about what I do just because I got people in the 9 to 5 world creeping, and they might even see something like this, and you know what I mean, they talk shit, and you know what I mean, they gab. So I keep the 9 to 5 under wraps. You know what I mean? Because if you mention the company, they could say all this other crap. But you don't necessarily need a college degree to land the 9 to 5 that I'm in. But the 9 to 5 that I'm in was almost earned because I started as a low tier associate over 10 years ago and just worked my way up. You know what I mean? So experience kind of trumped the degree at this point. And Caldrick said you're absolutely killing it then. Yeah, I appreciate that. So, guys, we've been live for 67 minutes. I appreciate everybody that's joined, everybody that smashed the thumbs up, everybody that liked the video, everybody that asked their questions, everybody that joined on this 1st of January 2021. I appreciate all of you. Catch me on the next hustle. We're going to do another live hustle tomorrow, which will be opening up 3 Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes, which is 30 Champions Path packs. Looking for that shiny rainbow rare Charizard. And then Sunday, like we do every Sunday, we'll be out 6 o'clock at Walmart doing a live hustle on Sunday at 6. Guys, catch you on IG at Richie Hustles. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, check out some of the other videos on here, and I will see you on the next hustle.